Okay, what you're seeing is the two, I guess this is a Jane Apollo, and I guess they call it when they're from Europe or Canada, they're Mark Apollos instead of Johnny Apollos. I think I'm getting that right, but I painted the hands so they're not flesh tone like that. I've also sacrificed the movement of the hands where they don't rotate. You do get weird things like this where the hand will rotate in unrealistic patterns. So I've sacrificed that to build them up to make them look more like gloves. And this is less pronounced in the female astronaut than it is in the male, which the build-up's been quite a bit more. So I may work on that. I also painted the boots on both figures to kind of match the gloves, and so you can see that makes quite a bit of difference having the visor and the gloves painted, making the figure look more realistic. So one of the things, I've got some red backpacks and hoses, and you have the hoses go into these couplings, and then if I can get it to work, anyway, this would, well, I can't get it to work at all now. Anyway, this will bend back and hook onto the backpack. If I can get her turned around like this. Now, I don't have holes drilled, and this went into an air conditioning unit, and let me see if I can find that real quick. One of them. Here's not the blue one, but the silver one, and you can see the holes on either side, and they'd hold it in their hands like that, and it was just kind of awkward, and it was more like something you'd carry onto a space capsule. As far as I know, there wasn't any Johnny Apollo space capsules. I'm thinking about using one of my Mercury space capsules, one of my G.I. Joe space capsules, and making a space capsule for Johnny Apollo. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I have two Mercury capsules. I thought I'd use the more realistic one for either a G.I. Joe figure, maybe upscale it, and then use the one that's not quite as realistic for a Johnny Apollo. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I might just stick with the moon base. So anyway, when I get the red backpacks that are from a recast and classic recast, I wrote them and asked if I could get more helmets, so I'm going to have to scratch build several of the backpacks. And I was thinking about making them out of wood, but I decided I am going to cast them out of plastic. I'm going to use polyurethane like Gorilla Glue, and probably use some styrene cards to reinforce it, but to get the round shape. I don't know what I'm going to build the straps out of. I'll probably just get some styrene plastic and make the straps. So that's the plan on that. And the helmets, I'll probably just make a mold and cast them. And then I have a helmet. The helmet that came with the visors. I'm going to cut and make it a little larger and use it to reinforce polyurethane cast. So I don't have to use a lot of polyurethane, and it'll still be sturdy. And then I'll have, so the concept is to have 10 on the surface of the moon, 10 inside the moon base. And I don't know how elaborate I'm going to make the moon base. I haven't really decided that yet. I do want it to be fairly elaborate. I'm hoping to get the moon base completed by the end of January. I don't know if that'll happen. And I'm planning on breaking the days of the week up where I'll do some Johnny Apollo stuff, and then I'll do Star Wars Wednesdays and I'm not gonna everything I want to do is not going to be movie accurate. It's going to be my take on what a toy universe like Johnny Apollo or Major Ant Mason, or a movie universe like 2001 or Star Wars or Star Trek, and they'll be very different than the movie. They'll just be my take on it. So that's it for today, and I'll be back tomorrow, probably with some more gloves, and maybe I'll be have some more material to work with by tomorrow. Later.